Tonight, the story takes a fresh turn. The Pretoria High Court has paused the fight over Edgar Lungu's body. Adjourned sine. No date, no roadmap, just questions. So we reopen the case files. The jet that may have moved the body, the ashes rumor, the political chase, and the country asking the same question. Where is the body? This isn't just about the body. This is about power, legacy, and the future of Zambia. For weeks, the continent has watched the body of former President Edgar Lungu lie in South Africa, wrapped in secrecy, drama, and politics. But what if I told you that the real battle isn't just in the courtrooms? It's in the skies, it's in the streets, and it's in the back rooms of global superpowers. The High Court adjourned sine. No new date. The repatriation order stands but is on ice. Lungu State Council says talks continue while the family files an urgent constitutional court challenge. Edgar Lungu says the state shouldn't force barrier choices. Online Zambians asked for Group 3 translation. Okay, but Group 3 translation. Sine means kulibe debt. Dapali debt. It means that the judge has the remote and pressed pause on the remote, then hit the remote. The definition of sine means check in back later. It's like Zesco shuts off the lights, then you go check tick-tock if the lights are back. But in this case, it's for a court date. The Pretoria High Court is set to decide whether Edgar Lungu's body should remain with the family or should be repatriated back to Zambia. Now let's look at the scenarios. Should the judge rule that the body returns back to Zambia, the government might have a plane ready in Johannesburg to fly back to Lusaka. And also, the government might have a person ready at the morgue to take the body the moment the ruling is made before the family could appeal again. Should the judge give the body to the family, then this brings more suspicion. Was this more about the family's rights, or is there something that's being hidden from the Zambian people? Now imagine this. The judge says the body should remain in South Africa. Zambians will be like, so now we need a visa for us to go and greet or see our former head of state. Where? Zambia's Attorney General shook the nation by filing in paperwork demanding to identify physically the body of Edgar Lungu. The question is why, and why now? Maybe the government fears the rumors might be true, that maybe, and just maybe, the body that's at the morgue isn't at all Edgar Lungu's. I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there that's thinking and talking with a friend like, my guy, can you imagine the Attorney General wants to check properly, who are burying, Did the private jet move the body quietly, legally, or otherwise? And the darkest branch on our tree is cremation, a sealed box presented as closure. For some, it's unthinkable. For others, it solves a political standoff. But it raises a core forensic problem: chain of custody and proof of identity. While the theory of a private jet from Angola or Eswatini was meant to carry the body of Edgar Lungu secretly, avoiding public eyes, and while others whisper about the ashes theory, in that instead of the body, ashes might be handed to HH. Could cremation have happened already? Zambians have seen such twists in African history, where the leader's death is turned into a political weapon. There's probably a Zambian out there thinking, except if that plane made a U-turn, that means that guy owes us fuel money, because they use government money. Honestly, even myself, I had to ask Facebook to explain for me in Tonga, and Google responded saying, I'm tired too. While all this is going on, UPND MPs and UPND supporters were seen and mocking of the dead body, calling it akatumbi, which means a small body or something that's not that important. Akatumbi.
The body is coming, we are burying here. It's when you have a government that is loved by the people. That is what happens. We are burying here.
This fueled anger among SPF loyalists, questioning the tradition and the respect for the presidency even after death. That makes the case much more harder, because the president says he wants to bury the body of Edgar Lungu in a much more dignified manner. Now this whole scenario changes everything. This is now becoming like a telenovela. It's got more episodes than a Mexican telenovela. Plot twist, every Friday is like the season's finale. It's like a game where you always have to choose a new fighter. Court ruling, endless buffering, and the next stage is unlocking a new character, and that is cremation. In earlier statements, Edgar Lungu hinted at Plan B, and that why should people honor him in death when they mistreated him when he was alive?
To see what happens. How can you allow somebody who has murdered your son or your daughter and you are still mourning to come and attend the funeral and we went to speak at the funeral?
But how good your son
was. And you know about it, you say, wait a minute, what's happening? Because how can you? But if they sketch that they will not allow PF or Edgar Lungu to be candidates in the 2026 elections, obviously there is Plan B. But Plan B is not for public consumption.
All right.
And the Ichawaiche movement, closely tied to the PF, is rising very fast. And their leader was recently seen wearing a Donald Trump MAGA hat. Was this symbolic? Or was it a signal of alignment with the US right-wing politics? Or was it just a style of choice? People in the Kombone are asking, was this style or was it just politics? Because boss naifwe tulefo yako jean naka hat ka Donald Trump name on it. And his campaign promise will be very simple. Even the billboard could take it. All they have to do is just say, bring the body home. I will bring the body home. First, it was the family, then the government, then the courts in Pretoria, and now the people will have a say on this matter to either bring the body back home to Zambia or let it stay in South Africa. But while all this is happening, HH has fallen out of favor with the US, especially after siding with the Chinese interest.
Over 2 months ago, a tailings dam at Sino Metals in Chambishi spilled, contaminating water sources with hazardous substances. Just weeks after the incident, the Zambian government publicly assured residents that the water was safe for use. However, no official update or warning followed, until now. Following a recent health alert from the US Embassy, which confirmed severe contamination and potential long-term health risks, Godaza has finally advised residents in Kitwe and surrounding areas not to drink, cook, or even bathe with municipal water. US government personnel have already been evacuated from Kitwe, Chambishi, and other downstream areas. This delayed response has sparked public outrage, with many questioning why it took foreign intervention for Godaza to act, despite knowing the risks much earlier.
The US recently issued a warning to its citizens to evacuate parts of the Copper Belt and that the water has been contaminated by a Chinese company. And at the same time, Washington criticized Zambia's human rights record and pushed for Waimi's release. Then all of a sudden, the government produces Waimi in court. Was this a US or a Western concession, or was it a smokescreen? SADC held its 45th summit in Madagascar, and guess what? HH was not invited. The timing is strange, just right as Zambia faces the Edgar Lungu saga. Could it be that the regional powers sidelined HH because they sympathized with Edgar Lungu's family? So now, what is really at stake? If the body goes back to Zambia under government control, PF fears that HH might use the state funeral to humiliate the PF faction. But if the family keeps the body in South Africa, then PF continues to control the narrative. And this might fuel conspiracy theories and might keep HLIT momentum alive. Either way, the verdict will ignite a new political chapter. At this point, Zambian politics is like Netflix. Every week there's a new episode, and the only difference is that Netflix you pay $15, while with the Zambian politics episodes you pay with your high blood pressure. Until there's a date set, I'm on unpaid leave. I have studied this case for a long time. Studies have been placed on adjournment, and I'm moving to level 2. So now ask yourself this question: what lies behind the morgue's doors? What lies behind Mado Yakumochari? And is Zambia about to bury its past? Or it's about to resurrect a political ghost that might haunt Zambia in the coming years? This is not the end. This is just the beginning of the Edgar Lungu body battle. Tell ya.